we're going to go back today and revisit a celebrity death because there's been some kind of recent developments in this particular case. I'm talking about O.J. Simpson. And just to bring everybody, including Jessica, up to speed, O.J. died in April of this year, 2024. He left a will. He nominated a longtime friend and attorney of his as his executor. That gentleman got appointed in the state of Nevada to be the executor because that's where O.J. lived when he died, was Nevada. And probably everybody is aware that whatever estate there was when O.J. died, it is now far outpaced by the debt that he had when he died. He had a judgment by the Goldman family against him for $33.5 million, which is now, I don't even know, is that 20 years old, that judgment, 25 years old? It's been collecting interest ever since. And now it's up to about $117 million. So whatever estate he had, that's not going to cover that. I think there's also a tax lien by the state of California. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But the executor has been working on a couple of things, and that caught my attention, and therefore we're having this conversation. Jessica, why don't you fill us in on what the executor has been doing lately?
Part of the executor's job is getting all the assets together. And right now what he's trying to do is get those assets together and get some of that value into the estate. So one thing that he's working on is the executor petitioned the court. He asked the judge for permission to auction off some of OJ's stuff, what we call his tangible personal property, his belongings. There's some, memorabilia, and just, people want things that were owned by OJ. Kind of cool to say, oh, I have OJ's ashtray, or I have a painting that was hung in OJ's house. So that stuff is likely worth something. We have not been able to figure out when that auction is. And so if you're an OJ fan and trying to get your hands on his ashtray, we don't have that information for you yet.
Yeah, I had seen something about October 31st, and that's kind of explaining the timing of this episode, is that that October 31st date came and went, and I don't see any evidence that the auction actually took place. Probably the executor has, a lot of work to categorize all that stuff and figure out how much it should be, what should be the minimum bid. It's not an easy job.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcounsel.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.